Possibly an aggro tri-lane. I know they did sort of a similar aggro tri-lane earlier. They had a jug. I'm not sure what the lane was, but I know they had jug aggro tri-lane. But it is always risky running these type of lanes against the Dro.
Running Dro and maybe Big Daddy, who's one of the best micro gamers you can ask for in Dota, and it looks like he's going to be taking the reins of Chen for this one. And he really might be in the dark. So we could potentially see Navi look to roam pretty early as they do conga line and beeline it towards the C9 side. Maybe see if they have any wards and sentries on hand, maybe to block out some camps. It doesn't look like it right now, so we'll see what they decide to do. But without further ado, as we do, of course, have to lead things off with a pause, we can try to begin out some nice, long-winded introductions here as we get a matchup between Cloud9 taking on Navi. First and foremost, FRL, if you had to put odds on this, I haven't even looked at Dota 2 Lounge or whatever. What would you, if you had to put a number, what would you say it would be?
Before picks or after? Like, from what I know right now?
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say after.
Okay. I would say with these picks, I give C9 an 80% advantage. I think they outdrafted Navi fairly hard this game. And before picks, I would have said maybe 65 for C9.
65 for C9. Now you're feeling a lot more confident that they've thrown together this lineup, which on the back of a drow, C9 classic that they're very familiar with. I can get back with you on that, but Navi have been pulling out some nice little surprises here in day number 2. So with that, and now a Funnick Queen of Pain, which is pretty of a spicy grab. Looks like we're going to get the go-ahead and we can get things rolling here. I'll start out introductions for your Navi team. On your Radiant side, it's going to be Funnick on his Queen of Pain. We're going to have Vost on his Jug. Vanscore is going to be playing your Rubik. They smoke up and head to the other side. It's going to be none other than Dendi playing your Night Stalker, and that leaves Goblak, their captain, on the Abaddon, which, fun little fact, the Abaddon came into DAC with a 4-0 record. Smoke's going to get popped, however, from Misery.
He has boots.
Cloud9 will immediately pull back. Are they going to go for any sort of block in the camp, though? Maybe just hoping for a first blood. There's still a ward onto Vanscore here.
They're probably the worst hero to find there with Misery.
Puts the ward over here, and it's just outside the vision of that sentry. I guess they figured they were going to be blocking the camp, but that is not the case. Does Aoi have a second sentry? He does, but that's kind of an awkward spot. I don't think he's going to look for a second ward over there, considering the fact that it's not blocking anything. So looks like Navi kind of do their early smoke to get that extra little bit of vision. And I guess it will help them detect where Big Daddy's going to be moving on his Chen. Maybe they can go for some early harassment.
Yeah, definitely a good word to have against the Chen. It's going to give them a lot of information.
Oof, sidestep. Havos almost gets clocked with that arrow, but he will make his way out. Vanscore certainly helps out with that telekinesis, however.
Yeah, that was very close. Looks like we are going to have some dual lanes coming out from Navi. We're going to have Funnick on the Quappa with the Goblak, supporting him in the offlane with the Abaddon.
Did I keep saying Aoi? Oh my god. It's now Aoi on the brains, apparently. Every time I see Chen, it's like it's got to be Aoi or Ake. Sorry, Big Daddy no tail though. He's going to be playing that one. So Fata, yeah, he's going to be doing his own thing in the safe lane position here. And Goblak is going to have free will to kind of get in his face a bit as he levels up the Pathok shield a little bit. So no aggro try for Navi on this one.
Yep, they go for the dual lanes. This is going to put EE in the mid lane up against Dendi's Night Stalker. EE should have a fairly easy time in this lane. Has a very high base damage, range against melee. So I think he'll be quite fine. Oh,
they're going for both 7 telekinesis, and that's going to be it. Immediate first blood for your bottom lane duo between Vanscore's Rubik and the Vost. He secures that one on the Jug. Immediate extra grab for them. Both 7's going to make his return.
Well, unfortunately, I missed that kill completely. But Bone 7 didn't have leap available. Pretty easy kill with the telekinesis into spin.
So catching up with mid lane here, we'll pop the CS to match on par. Dendi on your Night Stalker going against EE's Drow. Bit of an awkward mid lane exchange here. And Dendi, he looks to build up a little bit of a head start. Do you consider going on the prowl right off the bat when the first night falls at 4 minutes in, or do you kind of just plant your ground and look to build on up? Because then you risk allowing your Drow to get a lot done in the mid lane.
Yeah, they need to find kills early with this Night Stalker. Definitely have a draft where they need to snowball early because they're up against the 5 ranged heroes with the draw where the courier gets killed by Misery.
Misery creeping around the backside. I figured they were just looking for a gank, but they get more than that with the courier crossing.
Dendi could actually be in trouble here. There's a DD on
yeah, the arrow's right there.
He scout him? I think he knows.
He doesn't.
Because they have a ward here, so.
Well, they waited out. Bone 7's going to have to take the long walk back to the bottom lane, but now Dendi is going to be hindered quite a bit. No bottle on hand for him.
He was bottle crowing as well.
He'll have to make do. So with EE, plenty of regen, and Dendi down to one last tango, which he's going to use right there. He'll see this, and he'll just start hitting Dendi with heavy harassment and force him back. And they are not letting up on this mid lane. They now have Big Daddy getting involved with the Centaur creep. Oh, this could be really bad. Misery's going to get close enough. There's going to be the stun to lead off. Centaur walks on forward, pops off his own stun. No, fix once, gets it twice. Oh, and it's going to be EE who picks up the kill.
Well, very interestingly enough, Big Daddy opts for the early point in Penitence. Not something we see too often. Does grant that bit of movement speed slow plus the bonus damage. Usually we see the Test of Faith picked up early on Shen. Really interesting skill build. I'm not sure that I've seen it a couple times, but definitely not something that's common.
This is how you do it now, man. That's how we get it done. So remember, they did change things up quite a bit.
Under fire.
It was the Test of Faith that now allows him to get the bit of movement and allows his creeps to really get by his side right away. I'm not really going to see any flashy Blink Dagger Chens quite yet, but Big Daddy certainly helps out, and Dendi not only loses his courier and his bottle, he now loses his life. It's one of the best head starts you could ask for your drow in the mid lane. And now with an invis, Dendi returns towards this mid lane. He's got some assistance here with Godlack, who's been called in as a reinforcement.
Radiant's bottom tower is being
It looks
attacked.
like the movement just doesn't stop from C9 and their supports. See Misery on this Lion. He is not looking to plant himself down in a lane anywhere because top lane Fanta is just doing fine on the puck and expected to just succeed in his solo presence. And Bone 7 is going to also get involved. This is 4 Cloud9 members getting committed onto Dendi. Down. Arrow is going to connect on the back wing. They try to help him out with the shield, but it's just not going to be enough. They over-swarm him, and they take down the Night Stalker. 2-1 head start right now for Cloud9.
Yeah, very well played from Cloud9. It sort of looked like that was going to be a waste of a TP from Bone 7, but they end up making it work. The frost arrows constantly coming in. The Chen creeps also proving to be a nuisance, and the arrow connecting. Oh, is it going to hit Goldblack? Barely misses.
Goldblack's fine, still here, even when by the side of Dendi, it's just not as safe as you would suspect.
And the supports of C9 are very free this game to do whatever they want. Puck having an easy time up in the safe lane against the Quap 1v1. So it doesn't require the assistance of these supports, which allows them to rotate and roam around like they're doing.
Misery is blitzing towards a Blink Dagger with his 1 bonus kill. Well, I said that, and then he quickly bought up a wand and a ring. But he had about 1,200 gold there for a moment. I thought he was going to get real hungry to get that mobility online quick, but he's still definitely boasting off that early lump sum, and now he's going to go back to top lane and just work with the creep.
Yeah, they really want to apply pressure to Envy in the mid lane.
Yeah, they know it's a very valued target after the damage they've already done to Dendi here, but it looks like they're going to wait out for the 6-minute rune in hopes that it's something beneficial, but it's just an illusion rune. But now they could potentially make a move on the Fada, but it's Puck after all, so he's able to just quickly go up to the high ground and laugh and walk away. And with that ward, though, they kind of scout out Big Daddy here, but with those creeps, they're just going to have to get a little bit extra gold. So Navi, you feel, getting a bit desperate to try to find something for themselves, but this Nightfall is going to be ending relatively soon, and they have yet to get a kill with it.
Yeah, on the bright side, I mean, Havas is farming quite well on the safe lane Juggernaut. Up to 38 last hits, going for this sort of standard 1-1.
Mid lane, Van scored his combo the arrow as Bone 7 rotates in. Starfall's going to be there, but he's healed up and healthy with the shield. Dendi looks to dive onto this one, but he gets stunned immediately. The rotation's coming through from Cloud9, and Dendi will go down again. 3-1. Cloud9 off to a good head start as the Port Superior Night Stalker 0-3 start. Very devastating. C9 building up a strong one, and Fata also finds a kill elsewhere, taking down Funnick in a solo pickoff, using the coil right off the bat, knowing he has the upper hand on levels. Fata is now level 7, Funnick level 5.
Yeah, and I talked about this matchup. It's a fairly classic 1v1 matchup, usually in the mid lane, but it's just so hard for
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
I mean, they even have 4 points in the Stro Aura. He has 31 additional damage. And C9 are doing a tremendous job right now defending EE in the mid lane. That's, I believe, 2 times they've tried to kill him, and every time it's completely backfired on them. C9 getting kills themselves in return. There's going to be another smoke from C9, Big Daddy No Tail, as well as Misery. Are they going to find Dendi yet again? Already 0-3 on this Night Stalker. Definitely not where he wants to be on such a snowball-based hero.
Plant a ward on the high ground, first and foremost, and then they look to potentially turn the corner. It looks like they're going to find Arcane Boots first, but now Vanscore could be in trouble. Small bit of a stampede coming their way. Now they look towards EE to make a jump forward. Funnick's there. They have Sonic Wave, but not enough mana yet. He's got the bottle up. They don't need it, however, but here comes the troops. Centaur's going to be there, but they're not going to commit the stun quite yet. They're still under the darkness with Moonlight Shadow. Navi do succeed in finally bringing down Eternal Envy. Just before that, I was going to make a note that he felt comfortable enough where he didn't even level up the Gust. Now maybe he wishes he had it. So, they trade. That's my bird. Then he's not going to get it. He pulls away instead.
Yeah, and like I was talking about, Havas.
Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Fata shows up suddenly. Oh, big scream flies through onto Misery. The heal's there from Chen, and they're able to take down Misery's line. Meanwhile, left-hand side, Fata's going to have to go to the other side of the river to walk away. Back-to-back takedowns right here, and all the while, X-Post able to get a nice Omni-Slash takedown, gets a hold of Bone 7. So Navi quickly fire back, and things have quickly become even, 4-4.
That kill on bottom should not have happened. Like, Bone 7 is just playing way too cocky here. He already had used the leap, and he was sitting at about 150 life. And he just allows Havas to phase boot and then Omni-Slash him. It's just playing cocky and over-aggressive, and you can't do that when you have the Drow lineup. It's very important that you don't feed away these early kills because you're so strong in this mid-game. It does look like they are going to go for the Roche attempt with the Drow Aura, the Chen creeps as well. Gonna make for a very easy Roshan. Does Navi have knowledge of this? It looks like they know something's up. Actually, they might not have known anything had this tornado not.
Well, he sees a tornado now, does Goblack, and he's like, what the hell's happening over there? But other than that, they are completely in the dark as far as this pit goes. And they have already brought it down well below half life. It looks like they're going to be able to secure this one. Navi not quite close enough. Bone 7 maybe trying to distract a little bit with Dendi here on the bottom lane. Looks like an Aegis is going to be going Cloud9's way, possibly with a follow-up here on bottom. Fata shows up, has the coil in the pocket ready to go. Maybe potentially making to go on a pick onto Dendi's Night Stalker before nighttime does come at the 12-minute mark.
And we can see the power of the new Chen using this Test of Faith to teleport his creeps around the map. First he teleports them to Roche, then they all get low, he TPs back to base, teleports them all home. It just allows you a lot more flexibility when you play this Chen.
That was the one thing I was most excited about. Everyone else was like, oh, Agnum Scepter, you can now get Ancient Creeps and all this stuff. But I think the fact that he can quickly change from one lane to the other and bring all of his troops with them in the blink of an eye is certainly nothing to scoff at. So right now he shows up back bottom, and that said army is knocking at this tier 1, and they'll be able to take it.
Arrow flies in the top lane, hits Funnick.
Gets it, but oh, nice catch. Queen of Pain gonna get locked down. Misery shows up, adds the stun on top, and he gets that kill. No finger necessary.
Very nice play from C9. They knew that Navi would not be expecting such an attempt or play, considering they were pushing the bottom lane with 3 heroes. Very nice arrow. Sets up for an easy kill onto Funnick's Queen of Pain. And how are Navi going to defend against these pushes that C9 are doing? I'm not too sure that they can.
Wave clear not that great for someone like Night Stalker. His ability is to move in there, maybe void a creep, and then dish it out with right clicks. But other than that, doesn't have a lot. They haven't really put together any sort of might.
Misery actually is going to have his Blink Dagger at 12 minutes.
Big pickup for him, especially that throw on top certainly helps. Meanwhile, back and behind, they're able to get a hold of Fanta, and they do take him down. Here comes the boat. Homicide was used, now they turn back. Gonna see the hand of God coming on out, and they're able to blow up Sonic with the finger. Misery gets that one. Godblack could be in trouble next. And he does get the borrowed time pop. They lock him down, one stun after the other from Big Daddy, and they clean out that Abaddon. Now C9 turn it back the other way and make it a 2-for-1 trade, plus a tier 1 follow-up.
Yeah, they did have to use the buyback on the Fata, which is going to set him a little bit behind his blink timing. He had about 1,500 gold before that buyback, now sitting at about 900.
No more middle tower.
So it wasn't the worst thing in the world for Navi. They did lose 2 heroes for a buyback. It still definitely favors C9, but not as bad as it may look. But C9 is going to continue to bulldoze down these towers.
Top tower is being attacked.
He's just going to tank this.
How much damage Eternal Envy's Drow's adding to every one of this team. I know it's just expected, but even Bone 7 profiting so much. They get this tier 1 tower down very, very easily. And their surplus of gold is beginning to stack up quite high. It's 3K and quickly going. They have an Aegis for another 2 minutes, so they can still continue to go for more if they want. They'd already broken down all tier 1s. They can maybe consider an extra bit of a push at tier 2s, or they can play it a bit slow. If the mid-game does begin to develop, they can play it a bit more passive. Feels like the ball's pretty much in their court, if you want to say it like that.
And if you're Navi right now, you really need to wait till it actually is nighttime right now. They really need to use this night to get some pickoffs before the push starts. Looks like they want to maybe make it go onto Fata.
He has no Blink Dagger yet.
But it's so hard to just run up to him. Like, they have to get the silence off. It's not a large range.
The high ground, though. Ooh, nighttime pop. He immediately tries to get out the orb. Gets the silence off. The coil's going to be there, but Hobos doesn't care about no snapping coil. He tries to spin on forward, but
nice TP reactions.
There comes the TP. It's Misery first with that Blink Dagger. He's able to get a hold of Hobos, and now they have bit off more they can chew. They lose Hobos. Even Big Daddy gets in. Wow, all of Cloud9 just so quick to rotate and quickly pounce on a counterfight.
Yeah, and we talked about how good Lion is against the Juggernaut. He has his Blink Dagger already, so these TP rotations, counter ganks by Misery, proving to be very effective. Really nice play coming out from Misery so far this game. And they're gonna do that little abuse, you know, sending Fata back to base while throwing out the orb at the same time, refilling his bottle for free. It's a very nice trick that you can do when you have the Chen plus Puck combination. I think E is going to fall in the top lane.
Still has Aegis, but not much time left on it. It actually could be going down at any moment. Gotta be careful about that. Dendi shows up, get the hell back. He tries to use out the Gust, but here comes the first rotation from Fanta. The Aegis will be there when he does go down. Now he looks at himself back. Not take him down a second time. Well, they certainly do, even investing that big screen coming out from Funnick, and that's going to secure the kill from him. Now Don trying to quickly leave. Will they make it away though? Blink in, they go into the stone. Not lag borrow time going to be triggered. Long ball figure down below. Gets a whole advanced score, and they follow it up with a kill onto Godblack. They take their EE, but they don't allow him to walk away empty-handed. And 2-for-1 trade.
That is the biggest difference in Chen right there. Chen actually able to contribute to this fight. The old Chen, he would have had to walk all of his creeps to the top lane. Now he can just TP, recall all of his creeps instantly, add to the battle. It's a huge change to how Chen can be played now, and it makes him very, very strong. That could have been way worse for Navi as well. Misery completely whiffed on the air spike. Had he hit... It looked like he was going for a 2-hero impale. Had he hit that impale, that could have been even more disastrous for Navi.
Here we go, smoked up. Cloud9 continue their aggression with Misery having this Blink Dagger. They know they have the upper hand and they want to take advantage of it while they got it, so... Fought that by his side with Coil at the ready. He's actually, could be in trouble.
He's in a very smart position right here.
Is everyone coming in from all sides. Well, they blink right on top of him. He has to go immediately for the Blade Fury TP out. And he will make it away.
Yeah, that was a very nice hiding spot from Havast. Had he went to the lane to farm, he would have died. Had he went, actually, honestly, had he went anywhere else, he probably would have died there.
Yeah, even on the way out, they could have cut him off. Would have been a big grab for them. Eternal Envy now going very deep in this bottom lane, trying to force Navi to be spread and maybe draw some attention towards the bottom while they have two other C9 members at the top. Here you're going to see the nighttime come down, and it looks like that's enough for Cloud9 to scurry away. They're moving forward, though. They want the creeps. And they're going to... Bye! That's also a really nice feature. Easy creep to step away. Uh-oh, both gets gusted back, and he's put to a corner. And, well, it's going to be a death clock. He gets chopped. The Boast gets the easy pick onto him. Unfortunately, Eternal Envy just couldn't find his way out. And the darkness is more than enough to allow him to catch up and get that quick grab.
I think that's a bit greedy from Envy to not have a TP scroll. I know he wants all these agility items, but I mean, had he just had a TP, he would have lived in that situation.
Tower is being attacked.
The NATO is casted by No-Tail. Probably.
I don't know how much it's going to really stop them.
That's not going to do anything.
So
I don't know if they want to commit to defending this. It does look like they might want to defend this.
Both teams have that high ground ward, so they can see if movement's coming their way. Havos is already Blade Furying up and above, still has the Omni Slash at the ready. Might need to use it here. Yeah, and they get it, the follow-up stun, the lockdown. Is he going to be able to get it off? There it goes! Now Cloud9, they gather close with all the soakage of the damage. They mitigate the hell out of it. And now they quickly blow up Navi. 2 to go down right away. Big Daddy does drop, but his creeps do live on. Meanwhile, trying to hide out Funnick. Will he get the TP off? He will. He escapes out. It ends up being a 2-for-1 trade plus the tower for Navi.
That was an excellent impale from Misery. I mean, he caught him right at the end of that Blade Fury. Unfortunately for C9, Havas did get off the Omni Slash, but it was split up between a lot of Chen creeps, so not doing that much damage to heroes. Had Havas died before he got the Omni Slash off, that could have been even worse for Navi. Dendi actually going for a Vanguard first on the Night Stalker. It's such a hard game for Dendi because he didn't have that early start that he wanted, starting 0-3.
Yeah, and it's not like he's been able to recover by getting a lot of kills to make up for it. He's 1-3-4, but now he's got eyes for possibly the Drow. He's got this Invis Rune with halftime still left, and he's testing the waters to see if maybe they have the vision. He immediately retreats down and below, and it could be out of their way, so... Though Dendi still wants to stalk here. Might have to be careful. Same goes for EE, though. He's going to go for Ancients. Now he Ancient. They have the vision. No, they go right to Darkness, and now he goes right for Hinata. He dishes out the Urge. Well, Farik looking to follow up. No Scream is going to be at the ready. Coil's going to be catching on the return from Fata, and it catches on 3. Now the man good coming up from Misery. That depletes Funnick. He's got to bottle on up if he wants to continue to fight, but they are going to be all right for now. What looked like a good time to make a jump onto Eternal Envy. The Boast, that's my Centaur. Gets the chop down. Arrow is going to be off the mark, and Navi will have to walk away with only that creep takedown.
Yeah, surprisingly, they did not get Eternal Envy there. Nice send back from No-Tail's Chen, saving Envy's life. Rubik even had the coil there.
Yeah, they did have to use a couple of ultimates for it, but ultimately everyone lives. He's fine. There's the trick you're talking about. Fata goes to base, bottles up, comes back to his orb. It is cool.
Yeah, I think this game can get difficult for C9 once there's some BKBs on the side of Navi. If they get some the BKB onto Jug, possibly the Night Stalker, maybe even this Quap, it'd be nice to have a BKB.
He plants the ward and they see each other. Godlike leads out the front, but he has no ultimate. I was going to say the ultimate, he actually has it. Scream is not going to catch with the leap back. It's going to be an airball. Big Daddy. The Omni Slash connects. Oh, bad RNG for him. It goes mostly onto him instead of his creeps, and now Havos spins on forward. After they take down the Chen, they look to focus on the Bone 7. The silence is there, but he gets it done. Gust is not going to be enough to keep them back, and Navi clawing themselves tooth and nail to try to get back into this. Now 10-2. It's Havos who takes over the top of the net worth.
That was some
more Centaurs for me.
That was some very unfortunate RNG for No-Tail. I don't even think it went to creeps at all, and Navi with a huge fight there, getting 2 hero kills, are now pressuring Roche. And it's very, very important for C9 to not lose these Roaches as the draw lineup on Dire's side.
I think they can agree with me. They already have the Tornado down, the Orb Harass, the Miseries.
I'm not sure they can stop this thing.
You can blink in and go for a Hail Mary kind of a pickup if you can. There's Contra up in, drops down the coil. He's got more life. Contra though might die for Roche. Roche goes down, they get the kill and they pick up the Aegis. And Fonta's gonna drop. Oh, disaster for Cloud9 on that attempted defense. Or sorry, Godlack.
This game's starting to turn in Navi's favor. I mean, we've seen it time and time again when these draw strats start to fail, they really start to crumble. And currently, the second Roche taken by Navi. It's a very nice start for their comeback. We go ahead and take a look at the gold. Nearly evened now by Navi from that last fight, as well as taking Roche in. Navi now with an experience advantage as well.
Dendi sees Chen and goes on the stock. Funnick shows up, just up screaming. Big Daddy, there's nothing he can do about it. He's going to be taking down another successful pickoff. And what was a struggling start for Dendi, he has now been finding lots of opportunities for himself. And he has quickly turned that Vanguard into a Crimson Guard. So with that, they use this bit of momentum. They go towards this tier 1 mid lane. And things go from even to now in Navi's favor for the first time not the first time, but since the very, very start. Navi are back in control of the net worth.
Yeah, and Havost is so far ahead of everyone. Although actually not too far ahead of Envy, but if we look at the net worth of all these heroes in the game, Navi having 3 of the top 4.
Top tower is being attacked.
Actually a pause coming out from Misery. I'm not sure what that's about. Juggernaut getting the Basher now completed. He is definitely a force to be reckoned with. I still think you should go for a BKB. It's very good this game against... They have a lot of silences. We've talked about how good Ryan is with his 2 disables and the Hex as well as the Earth Spike. They have an arrow, you know, even the Dro slows. And then you also have the Chen nuke as well, which does a pretty decent amount of damage. It can do up to 400, so it's nothing to scoff at.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
Navi going on the aggressive end for this one.
They
were down quite a bit, and they go from tier 1 to tier 1.
Is under siege.
And they have taken back control of this game. For everyone now coming on in here, see we have a recent surplus. People find a seat sit on down. It's Navi taking on Cloud9. Cloud9 started this game with a big, big advantage. Talking about bringing down Dendi 3 times in the mid lane and sniping out their courier, taking away his bottle, and it's Navi who are back in control. That's pretty interesting, but on this Drow lineup, can't sleep on them. You lose one fight, you lose structures pretty damn fast. 12 to 12 is the score, and Bone 7 has put together a defusal on his Mirana. Interesting. Defusal. What are we looking at using that with here? Ghost Scepters that could potentially come in? I don't know.
Yes, I'm not too sure why he has this defusal. It just doesn't seem like a good item for this skin.
Oh, they make it go on the Ghost with the coil, and he's going to try to spin onto there, but that's his Aegis slide down, and well, he's going to need some help if he wants to get away. They're blocking him in. Stun's going to catch. They do both the Earth Spike and the Centaur Spot at the same time just to be sure, but and there's the Ghost out of position, and he does go down.
Yeah, so nice play from C9, catching out Havost, the most farmed hero on the map. And they need a couple of pickups like this. This is actually going to net them tier 2 top tower.
Oh, wow. Wow, they scream at the last moment to get Bone 7.
Wow. Funnick feeling confident.
He just zoned out that one. Oh my god.
I honestly didn't think he was going to go for that. But feeling confident, goes for the Sonic Wave Scream of Pain at the last second.
He has an Agam, so the Queen of Pain ultimate is actually not that bad. He almost has it again for a fight right here. Navi can take this one, and they move forward. Look at the silence on the Fata. Dendi's going on to chase. The heal's going to be there, though, from Big Daddy. And now, Fata will be able to get a bit of extra space. I say that, but the telekinesis is right there, and they do eventually get a hold of that little fairy butter. Dendi goes from 0 to 3, and now he's on a killing spree. 3 and 3 and 7. Oh, the tides have turned.
C9 are just bleeding heroes. Like, they go for this top lane push while Havost is dead, but they don't really commit to it. They send back Eternal Envy, but the rest of the team is not on the same page. Fata's sticking around just a little bit too long. You know, he is a puck, but even fairies can die. Looks like Clone 7 is going to use the Moonlight Shadow. Try for something mid, but Navi are fairly prepared for this.
Misery does not catch the stun. The dust is there. C9 immediately make the sound of the retreat. Scream goes out, does connect. Brings down Turtle Edge pretty damn low. Nail will have to disperse. Not the engagement they were counting on. They will be able to walk away without losing anyone else. Navi with the aggression. Mind you, they don't have the Aegis anymore. The Ghosts had lost it earlier, but they're going to still make a go onto this mid-tier 2 tower. Arrow's going to fly out, not going to catch on anyone. Cloud9, now he's really looking to engage. Fata could lead things off, but he's not going to commit even to the orb. Here comes the glyph. Cloud9 seems a bit hesitant as far as what the game plan is to stop them from this push for now. There's Fata, he will jump in, gets pretty silent in a big coil, and picks up 4. The Bo's going to burst it down, and he will drop. We're out for a minute. Now they make a go on to Dendi, trying to drain out his mana a bit, as they go out on the retreat. A Scream flies through once more from Funnick, trying to blast down those creeps. The next going to be there and save him. And now, they get a hold of advanced score, and wow, desperation set up, duels into the arrow. They get a nice 2-man special, and they don't even lose their second-tier tower.
Yeah. I mean, that shouldn't ever be happening. There should never be a situation where, when you have this Abaddon, that your Juggernaut gets stun-locked so long that he is unable to cast ult or spin. When you have the Abaddon, you have the shield, you have the heal. Goblik just getting caught out a little bit out of position, gets impaled with the Jug, and he just shouldn't be in that situation where that can happen.
I Scream to slow them down, it looks like, and now Funnick moves in.
It's not going to cost Navi anything, but it's still a mistake nonetheless.
Funnick, nothing you can do to really stop him. Yeah, take that before you go. Get rid of that Shadow Strike love, but
I still think
Cloud9 walk away with the tier 2.
I still think Havash should get a BKB. He actually opts for the Blink Dagger. It's going to make it so that he can get off his ult, but if he's hitting the tower like that, it's not going to matter anyways. He's going to get initiated on by the Hex and Pale. This Blink Dagger's not really going to do too much at that point. It's really up to Goblik at this point to save him from these initiations while he's trying to push down these towers.
Score's going to drop down this top toward the bottom. Possibly the idea or an inkling that a Roche could be in their near future or some sort of contention for it. We'll find out that timer in a moment's notice. But now smoked up, it's Cloud9 on the move. They have the Moonlight Shadow as well at the ready. They want to make a possible go. But now they swarm towards the bottom. Navi are already on the way out. Cloud9, I imagine, are at least going to go for the push and try to finish off this tier 2. Navi, we'll see if they look to go for their defense. They drop an ops pretty dang close to the tower. You can just get that little bit of extra leverage. Now moving up and above, Mode 7 gets caught on immediate Scream, takedown, Dendi gets that one, and Cloud9 again have to quickly go on the retreat. That's not what we wanted, we gotta go. Look how fast Navi scramble to see if they get a hold of anyone. Big Daddy, got him! Man, they go on the hunt, they just move so quick.
Yeah, they have a lot of mobility, they have the blink on the Quap. Both the Jug and Night Stalker are extremely fast. And Dendi actually going to go for an Aghanim Scepter, so going for that map control build, going to have the nice unobstructed night vision. What is it, 1200? I think it's either 12 or 1400, I'm not sure. But it's...
No, don't do this to me. Last time it was me and Rioboris yesterday when we were debating about Night Stalker, and at that point it was at the back end of my 9 best of 1 casts, and I couldn't even really remember, but...
Oh, so you've already had this discussion before?
Yeah, you're talking about the Night Stalker vision? Yeah. 650 vision is what the new level is with this darkness.
650. No, that's enemy.
And heroes.
No, I'm talking about his, when he gets Axe, he gets unobstructed night vision.
For himself?
Yeah. Is it 12 or 14?
It wasn't changed, whatever it was before, I'll tell you that.
Maybe it's 1600 or more, I don't even know.
Funnick scouts out Fata. Whoa!
There was
a level 2 Scream.
There was a dragon there.
Yeah, I think so. Or an illusion. Whatever it is, it's gone now. Exterminate.
C9 scouting out Roche. They might actually get this because all of Navi is top. Fata's death might not be in vain if they can get this Roshan. Looks like Navi have an idea that this is happening.
Oh, they're coming. Moonlight Shadow. They gotta really make the right decision here. Do they want to commit or do they want to go? Dendi is right there as the bouncer.
Oh, no.
They get the hell out of the party. And it looks like Hinata is not welcome. Does get up the mantle last second, but just delaying the inevitable. Immediate buyback now coming out. Mata, they're going to return. 170 stuck in the trees and has to TP out. Left himself into a bit of a pickle. Will go over. At the same moment, gets sent back to base from Big Daddy. So they get a bit of this clean again. Mata back from the dead. Silenced up. Earth Spike trying to save. Catches fronted. But Mata, it's a dieback for him. He goes down. Dendi now unstoppable. And with that, they can double back and finish off the Roach. Navi right back in control.
Yep. It's going to be an easy Roach for them. Looks like Konik is working towards that BKB. We talked about how important BKBs are in this game. They have the Aghanims now on the Night Stalker. It's going to give them huge advantage in these fights, being able to see everything clearly. He even has the gem, so the vision for C9 is going to be
damage.
completely
It's
gone at
timed
this
out
point.
appropriately. I know the numbers have been crunched even by myself. With the way it works now and not pausing the cycle, you can get up to only a minute and a half of daylight in the game. So you can really put your opponents in the dark. For a team that really values a lot on their initiation setup, whether it be from Fata or what have you, or even Misery, that does not become easy.
I'm not going to pretend I understand how darkness works anymore, because as far as I know, it doesn't add to the timer anymore. So if it's already nighttime, when you use darkness, it won't add to darkness anymore. That was a recent change. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I think it just
isn't your job.
I suppose.
It's okay, dude. Dota's an encyclopedia. Here we go, Cloud9 now with them on the underhand. They're going towards bottom. They'll have that tier 2 if they want to try to bring it down, but Navi will feel more in control as they claim this top tier 2.
Oddly enough, Misery actually second in net worth for his team at 8,800. So higher than the bottom as well as the safe lane puck. Although at the same time in the top lane, very nice job on right on here, and final 2 strikes under that blade here. Dendi gets cheeked up. Immediate Yules is going to be flying out here for Hozos. Small one out, but they're already posing a big threat onto the rack. There's going to be the big coil, connects on all, jump right to a screen. First that connects as well, but it's not enough damage. Navi stands strong, they wipe down 2, and now they're moving on 4. Mister's going to drop thereafter, and he's going to be forced to go into his buyback. Mata's out, no buyback for him. And now the racks are going to be going down. Navi, coming into this one, the underdogs, they have put together a pretty solid day 2 performance. And if they can secure a win here, they put themselves from the bottom of the pits right up into the mix. That rhymed, I didn't even mean for it. And Navi have done really good at capitalizing on the mistakes from Cloud9. It was just a couple of times when it didn't seem like Cloud9 were all on the same page. Just leaving players behind as was completely
Showing out that abyssal onto Big Daddy's head.
The GG is called by C9, knowing the limitations of their draft. The Dro can no longer stand up to what Navi has to offer, and we see it here. You pick these heroes that can run at you. I really liked C9's draft. I just felt that their execution was not up to par of what I usually see from them, especially with these Dro lineups. They are very comfortable with these heroes, and
it just went south so quick. You're talking about Cloud9.
I mean, when they crumble,
the
like
dream
when
of a start.
these lineups